About 6 years ago, around 2018, I started to experience quite intense negative thought cycles that, to begin with, were just thought cycles, but started to lead to like instances of self-harm. And that was something that I experienced on and off for about 4 years, I would say. It would be one of those things where I'd go through a tough time and then I'd come out of a tough time and be like, oh, that was a one-off, and then would end up back in a cycle without realizing. And then it was in like 2022, I would say, when I realized things were really tough, and I just had a moment of realizing that I was in quite a consistent circle. I was in a very just high anxiety mindset. I felt very overwhelmed and didn't know what to do with what felt like a just unbelievable amount of emotion and stress and anxiety. And that overwhelm would lead to me sort of emotionally isolating myself, not feeling like I could talk about it because I didn't know how to go about talking about it. I didn't know where to start. And then I would sort of physically isolate myself. So I wouldn't want to be around anyone because my thoughts were so loud that I wasn't really able to interact with people. I found it really hard to function. My journey from there was honestly some just Google searches and working out what to do, reading stories of people who had experienced similar things and what would work for them. And ultimately it was making a call to the Samaritans and just being able to say it out loud and to sort of realize what was happening to me. I think saying it out loud made me realize how low of a situation I was in myself and how bad I felt about myself. And then from there, I was able to break down that thought cycle bit by bit. I've always known about the Samaritans, even before I'd even considered using them for support, but they have loads of great online resources. And so, for example, being able to go through those and know that they have loads of different coping mechanisms, they've done research and they're there to help, I found really, really helpful. I've found coping strategies that work pretty consistently for me, and sometimes those change, but overall it's meant that I don't fall into that cycle quite so easily. And if I do, I am able to recognize it a lot sooner. Sometimes just moving myself to a friend's house or a cafe or a library just to be somewhere else is enough of a jolt to break how I'm feeling. Another thing that really helps me is keeping myself physically busy, just to, if I don't feel like I can get rid of my thoughts, at least my body is doing something different, so that I'm not just being sort of carried and dictated by those thoughts. There were definitely things that I tried when I was trying to sort of break this cycle of thoughts that didn't work. I think even when I was skeptical, I would still try everything because you never know what's going to work for you. For me, it was really important to be like kind and patient with myself and trying to work out what worked and not to blame myself when things didn't work. There's no wrong answer in helping yourself. It's just taking the time to work that out.